Welcome back to another episode of Against the Insanity. Coming up on the show today, we've got Twitter influencer found guilty of election interference memes, President Trump indicted by a Manhattan grand jury. Ooh, I'm on the edge of my seat. I can't wait. And Texas man uses Apple AirTag rack to track person who stole his truck and kills him. Yeah, we've got quite a bit on the show today.
Pretty crazy. Yeah.
How's it going, Ricky?
Pretty good. Getting ready to get right into this.
Yeah, I'll say this is an interesting one. So I don't know if you followed this story at all. Like, this is something that I've definitely kind of been following. But pro-Trump Twitter influencer found guilty of conspiracy against rights over 2016 memes. A pro-Trump Twitter influencer was found guilty of election interference for memes shared around the 2016 presidential election. Douglas McKay, better known as his online handle, Ricky Vaughn, was found guilty of conspiracy against rights in a Brooklyn court for his creation and sharing of memes. Prosecutors argued the memes were intended to deprive individuals of their constitutional right to vote, a press release from the New York Eastern District U.S. Attorney's Office said. The primary focus was the memes in the style format of Hillary Clinton presidential campaign ads, and they instructed potential voters to vote by text, which is not possible. McKay now faces up to 10 years in prison. McKay has been found guilty by a jury of his peers for attempting to deprive individuals from exercising their sacred right to vote for the candidate of their choice in the 2016 presidential election. U.S. Attorney Brennan Peace said. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Let's talk about this. So he was doing this, and I'll come out and I'll say what he did was wrong. Absolutely. I don't agree with what he did. You know, what he did was wrong. However, on the other side of this too, it was happening on the other side. I mean, and in this exact article, this Christina Wong, she did the exact same thing that Douglas did, just on the opposite side. She was basically saying, you know, hey, Trump supporters, skip poll lines at election 2016 and text in your vote. Text votes are legit, or vote tomorrow on Super Wednesday. So she was doing the exact same shit. So how come she's not getting in trouble for this? I just find it funny that he's getting in trouble for this. And of course, he was Hillary's stance. So basically, you know, text your votes here to vote for Hillary. She's doing it. Text your votes here to vote for Trump. But she's not getting in trouble. Only he is. Why is that?
I have a couple questions here too myself. So is this American Idol? Because last time I checked, you never voted for a fucking president in fucking by text.
That's the thing too. I mean, are you?
I mean, if you're that fucking stupid, I'm sorry. On either side, you probably shouldn't be voting.
I agree.
If you 100%. Think you can text your vote in and it's going to fucking count, yeah. You're a fucking moron.
Yeah, you should know better. I mean, also, like, the people that were, let's, you know, devil's advocate here, I guess. You know, let's say people were voting this way. How many people?
Well, how are you doing it? Where's the number? Neither of them provided a phone number.
Right.
So what number are you texting? 1-800 fucking I vote Trump or some shit? Like, come on now.
Right. You should know better. I mean, if you're going to take on the responsibility of voting, then you should know better that texting isn't the way to do it. So if you're texting, you're an idiot.
Yeah. We all know you go to the polls and vote. We don't do that mail-in voting bullshit.
No.
And also, too, like, it's, you know, the thing is this is showing it once again that it's a two-tier justice system. So it's okay for them to do it, but it's not okay for our side to do the, you know, to do the same thing as well. If you do something, we're held to a higher standard and they press charges against us, whereas this Christina Wong actually is able to get away with it, you know, because obviously when you're a Democrat, you can get away with murder and it's okay. You know, that's why we still have Hillary around.
Right. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. That's facts right there. And again, you know, I am acknowledging what he did was wrong. And, you know, maybe he should get in trouble for what he did. But my point is, if he's getting in trouble for it, so should she.
But this sets a scary precedent. I think, like, you know, like I said, it doesn't have a phone number and stuff. So, like, clearly it's a meme.
Well, the one that I'm seeing the one there. It says text Hillary to 59925.
Oh, so he did actually have a number.
It looks like
so that's okay. So that makes a little more sense because I'm like, Oof. You know, because I was posting fucking, when the Biden campaign back, during that time in 2020 had the I'm with Biden. I was putting fucking like really nasty memes of like fucking Hillary, like looking really ugly and stuff like that, or like some, social justice warriors, or pictures of Antifa mugshots saying I'm with Joe, and like all this crazy shit. Like I was memeing it up and posting it all over fucking Twitter. Like, does that mean I'm getting arrested? Like, that's what fucking scares me, dude. Like, because I fucking wasn't holding back.
You weren't telling people to, vote here and here's a number to hit.
No, definitely not. I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I mean, that's for sure.
I would say what you did is definitely under the, freedom of speech.
That's right. I'm a crackhead and I voted for Joe Biden.
But like I said, you can't look at this one side or the other. If one person's getting in trouble for it, then the other one should too. Do it across the board equally.
Yeah, and speaking of one-sided justice here, the whole fucking Trump indictment by the Manhattan grand jury. What the fuck?
Yeah, so, on a previous show, we talked about this was probably going to be, coming up, and it did. So March 30th, officially, Trump indicted by the Manhattan grand jury. More to come. Obviously, they didn't, I don't think they really set a date yet or when it's going to be held, still to be determined, but it's official that the indictment has occurred. So more to follow. Once more, information is available, we'll definitely talk about it here. But I just wanted to kind of, come back to this because we did bring it up previously that this was going to happen, and it did.
And here's something that I wanted to add to this, because this is some context that even this NBC News article kind of leaves out. Because in here they say the historic indictment comes in a case centered on $130,000 in payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels during the closing days of the 2016 presidential election. Daniels claims she slept with married Trump in 2006, a claim he has denied. Trump had classified his reimbursement of the payout in a legal expense. Now, here's where it's misleading, and this is what fucking pisses me off about this article. Trump actually had no idea that Michael Cohen, his attorney at the time, was making these payments. He never authorized payments to Stormy Daniels about this. So, they're not telling the whole truth there.
No,
Trump had no idea that this was going on. And Michael Cohen, to me, it's a setup. And also, what they also don't discuss is how Trump turned around and sued Stormy Daniels, took her to court for all his legal fees and stuff, because he won this case. When about sleeping with Stormy Daniels, this other case, and she owes him $300,000 in court fees. And why is that? And from what I understand now, and I could be wrong on this, but I was pretty sure that she was forced to make a statement saying that she did not sleep with President Trump and it was made up. I don't 100% know that for sure. That could be hearsay, but I thought I saw like pictures of like a written statement that she had to write and sign going around the internet. Now, obviously, I don't know what to believe on that because I haven't seen it myself personally, and I haven't seen it come from like necessarily a legitimate news source, which I don't know what's legitimate anymore at this point. However, I do know that she was sued and she does owe Trump $300,000 for saying stuff like this, for like slanderous statements and, his court fees. And so, a lot of these news agencies tend to leave this shit out and they make it seem like, oh, well, Trump was in on it the whole time. No, he wasn't. He had no idea that Michael Cohen was making these payments.
Yeah.
And somebody that fucking ugly, good luck paying that $300,000 fucking court fees back on the fucking, morning shift at the strip club, bitch, because I tell you, you ain't getting much.
Yeah, last time, this came up, he won. Imagine we're going to see the same thing come out of this one, to be honest with you.
It's probably going to get thrown out. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, no, it's okay. But one of the things I wanted to bring up, too, is I was looking online, a couple articles. And again, you look online and it is what it is. But people are saying that the jurors, it seems like they're going to put people in place that are kind of against Trump to begin with. So that's going to be interesting to see.
It's a setup.
Yeah, it's a setup. This is all bullshit. Honestly, it really is. It's going to be interesting to see what comes out of this. But I just want to throw that out there, too, that's kind of what the rumors are right now, that the jurors are going to be against Trump. So
I have to say for the rest of the story is Trump 2024. You just secured the election for Trump.
Yep.
Thank you. And we'll see you in 2024.
Yeah, we'll break history again.
Yeah, we shall make history, and we will make America great again.
Yep, and again.
still, while we're on the topic of justice, I figured this would be a good one to kind of throw in here towards the end. And, you know, probably shouldn't take justice into your own hands, but you never fuck with a man's truck. Texas man uses Apple AirTag to track down a person who stole his truck, then kills him. Police in Antonio, Texas, said a man killed another man who allegedly stole his truck after tracking the thief with an Apple AirTag. The San Antonio Police Department said that the incident happened on Wednesday on the city's southeast side at a shopping center, according to KHOU. The truck owner used an Apple AirTag with a tracking device to see where his truck was located. Officials said that they received a stolen vehicle report around 1 p.m. on Wednesday out of a home in North San Antonio. Police said that the truck owner used the AirTag to track the vehicle nearly 20 miles from where it was stolen. The alleged thief wasn't aware that the vehicle was being tracked, officials said. Authorities found several bullet casings and 2 cars with their windows shot out. Ooh. Don't fuck with a man's truck. I mean, that's plain and simple. You know, I'm pretty sure somebody keyed my truck already, which really fucking pisses me off. There are some scratches up high on this truck that do not look like they're from maybe getting hit by a cart or something like that. But I told Amy, you know, if I came out and saw somebody keying my truck, I'm pretty sure I'd beat the fuck out of whoever did it. I mean, she's like, yeah, and then you get arrested. I'm like, well,
I mean, I think that's genius, putting an AirTag in like your vehicle like that.
People do that with their 4-wheelers and shit too, dude.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I thought about it. If your shit gets, you know, taken or whatever, and the person that did it has no idea you have an AirTag, or, you know, they make all kinds of things, tile, AirTag, whatever. But you have one of those devices. Yeah, you can see where your shit is. I mean, why not?
Yeah. I mean, I would want to know, and something like that. I mean, my truck, unfortunately, I had to have a truck. It was like the dealership. It was part of the package. Like, oh, well, we have tracking built into it. It's going to give you a discount on your insurance. I couldn't, unfortunately, have it taken out because that kind of shit weirds me out. But hey, whatever. But yeah, I'd say, you know, probably don't want to take justice into your own hands. Guy should have probably called the police. Now he's going to, unfortunately, have to go to jail over something that, you know. But I mean, I understand. Don't fuck with my truck, dude. And it's like a never-ending sea of social justice warriors in the event of the Nashville shooting. We were just seeing all kinds of hot takes on the internet. And so for this week's Baldwin Awards, I wanted to play this boneheaded response from this girl on Twitter that I saw. You just have to hang your head and just sigh when this shit comes out. But hey, I mean, I love that people are exposing themselves, so let's let her speak for herself.
Okay. I'm going to say the thing that you're not supposed to say. I'm going to say the thing that you're not supposed to say in public or on social media or whatever. But your prayers are not working. God is not coming into these schools and saving these children. Like, he's not. He's not coming into these schools and saving these children who are dying. And your prayers are not working. So unless you're doing something in addition to those prayers, like, people don't want to hear that you're praying for them, that you're praying for the victims and their families. Like, it blows my mind. It blows my mind that people will clutch to their assault rifles like they're freaking pearls. Like, get a grip. Children are dying. You've got to do more than just praying, because it ain't working, guys.
I just had to hang my head after watching that, and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, you're just so lost.
She brings up that, you know, prayers aren't enough, and then she gets into the whole, you know, the gun thing. And again, this is not a gun problem. This is a mental illness problem. That's what the problem is. And if you want to talk about actually things that can be done to solve the problem, we've talked about it on previous shows too. There is more that can be done. But taking the guns away is not going to fix the problem. You take the gun, then, you know, let's just use their example, the assault weapons. Okay, and there's no more assault weapons. Then the kids are just going to show up with pistols. Okay, then we're going to start taking pistols away. Then what? Shotguns? Revolvers? You know, you name it.
It'll be like England, where you walk down the street and you get fucking shanked in the back with a fucking kitchen knife. I mean, they're banning kitchen knives.
Yeah, and it's happening like over in like China and Japan too. I've seen stories already where, you know, kids or whatever, they're getting, you know, chopped to bits with fucking knives and machetes and, you know, you name it. The problem isn't the gun; it's a mental health issue. And, you know, a lot of states, and I'll use the state of Pennsylvania, prime example, mental health facilities in place that these people would go to for treatment. Well, all of those were defunded and they were closed. Where do you think all these mental health people are going? Nowhere. I mean, they're
College.
to college. To college. But, they're going to regular hospitals when, a regular hospital isn't fitted and suited to deal with people like this. And then you have people out in the public that are homeless or, whatever, that do go to places and cause issues like this where you're shooting up a school or you name it. So it's not a gun problem because you're just going to find something to harm somebody with. And let's talk about things that can actually be done in schools. Again, we talked about, having a school resource officer in place, metal detectors, reinforcing that lobby entrance coming into the building, doing things differently in those regards. Retired military that have been deployed that come back and can't get a job. Why can't we have retired military serve schools and control the schools? I don't see anything wrong with that. Those are real solutions that can be put in place to solve this problem. But when you start bringing that shit up, everyone's like, oh, no, that's not going to fix it. Yes, it is.
And that's why they don't fix it. They and that's where the sickness of how these people really feel about it come in. Like, evil people are going to continue to do evil things. It doesn't matter with what, a gun, a knife, any kind of weapon that they can get their hands on, they're going to use it to do evil things. This person clearly didn't, like I said, self-terminate themselves. I mean, they went into a school and they willingly killed women and kids or, adults and children and, and had the police shoot them like death by suicide because that's the kind of thinking, that's going on in their mind. And it's like, you can't change that unless they get help. And clearly this person didn't want help. They just wanted to cause mayhem.
Agreed.
It's fucked up. And until we start protecting our kids with guns, because I'm sorry, that's the only way that this is going to stop. These gun-free zones and stuff like that open these kids up to being targets. It's fucked up. I don't agree with it at all. It's a shame. It really is. And until that changes, and this is going to continue to happen. And they, like I said, the reason they don't change it is because they want it to happen so they can take your guns away. Yep. And that's the reality of it.
That's the end game. That's what they want. And that's their only method of solving it. And unfortunately, that is not the way to fix it.
Yeah, and how'd that work out in Australia, during COVID and stuff when they were putting people in COVID camps? Well, you can't defend yourself, so yeah, I guess you're going to fucking COVID camp. Over here, not so much.
Right. This isn't communist USA, so
exactly. Sorry. Well, not yet. We're getting there, you know what I mean? These modern day mental institutions, aka fucking universities, I think that's what happened. We defunded the fucking mental institutions and gave that money to the fucking colleges. That's what it seems like.
So true, though.
It's way true, dude. It's fucking crazy. These kids, I'm like, man, get them the fuck away from me. So yeah, I mean, obviously last week I announced that we now have like a PayPal. If you really start to enjoy the show and you eventually want to donate to hear more of it and help us out, you can by sending an email or PayPal to againsttheinsanity247@gmail.com. You can also drop us a line. Let us know what you think of the show. I'd really like to hear from you. Right as of now, the show is hosted on YouTube and Rumble, because obviously Rumble doesn't censor things. So you may not even come across this show on YouTube, but you can find us on Rumble as well. I do have us into the setup to get into the iTunes store. You will see like one of the first podcasts, but moving forward, like it's a subscription fee and stuff like that. So I'm going to eventually get that taken care of. I'd like to get us into the podcast store completely and have every show just pushed out to your phone daily if that's something you're interested in. But, give us some feedback. Let us know what you think of the show. We try to keep a lot of humor into it. It is obviously a lot of politics, but, we'd like to do more entertainment and, that kind of shit. And also have some side projects. Ricky's working on, like a riding YouTube and, we want to do more skits and stuff like that. So there's a lot that we have in mind for the show. Unfortunately, we just need more time and, obviously trying to make some more money here to be able to do those things and bring them to you. But, let us know. But until then, this is another episode of Against the Insanity. I want to just thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
Peace.
Adios.
Mofos.